Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls, coming to you from the West Coast. I'm continuing to work on classes for Alta New Educator Certification, and this is a class on watercoloring. And I used two different watercoloring techniques in this card. I did an ink smooshing, or that's what I call it, for the background, and then I used a shimmer watercolor palette on the base of on just some watercolor card, and then die cut those pieces of watercolored, just random watercolored card to create my butterfly wings. Super easy to do and a lot of fun, and you don't have to be perfect. It's the easiest watercoloring you'll ever do. So let me show you how it's made. All right, as I start to work on my watercolor class, creative watercoloring for Alta New the Educator Certification Program. For this card, I've got a 5x7 or a 5x6.5 inch card blank, and I've just got a piece of watercolor card, and I heat embossed. This is an old stamp that I have. I think it's this one. I think they were Stamperia stamps, but I've had them forever. And I just stamped and heat embossed with some, this is purple, with some, or amethyst embossing powder. Now, if you used purple ink and clear embossing powder, or honestly any color, after I did it, I thought, oh, I should have used, like, I have this white kind of sparkly embossing powder, which I think would have been really pretty. And then I cut a butterfly. I've got a 3-layer butterfly die that I'm going to put on it. And so I cut the top layer out of this black, and I'm going to cut the other 2 layers out of watercolor card that I'm going to watercolor first to give me a nice, pretty, colorful butterfly. But before I do that, I'm going to do my background. And I've got Eastern Sky Alta New ink, and I'm basically just going to do a little bit of ink smushing. And I'm just going to mist my card. And normally I would ink smush with multiple colors, but in this case I'm just going to use the blue because I'm just trying to create sort of the look of a sky. I'm trying not to get my fingers all over it. And then just for a little bit of texture, I've got just a paper towel, and I'm just going to kind of blot the dampness off because I don't want a lot of color to it. I just want a hint, and I like the texture that it gives when you kind of blot with the paper towel. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just got a hint of blue and a little bit of texture to it. Now I am going to dry this with my heat gun. Okay, so that gives me just a hint of blue. And I want to add just a little bit of depth of color on there. So I'm going to take the pink diamond, and I'm essentially going to do the same thing again. But you want to dry it in between, and that'll kind of layer the colors. I'll just try to get it straightened out. It will warp, and that's okay. So I'm going to set that to one side because I'm done with that piece. And now I'm going to do the next 2 layers. And these I'm going to die cut, but I want to go ahead and get these all inked up first. So I'm going to take, I've got a watercolor palette of shimmer watercolors. And you just sort of spritz them to wake them up. And then I'm going to spritz my card just very softly. I've got a paintbrush and a cup of water here, and I'm just going to get my paintbrush wet. So then we're going to layer these up. So this one's going to go on top of there. And I'm just going to attach at the body so the wings sort of lift up and you get these color variations underneath of the two different colors. And it looks nice there, but when you put the black on top, look how pretty that is. And you get this nice shimmer effect underneath. And it's just so pretty. So let me layer all that up and then we'll build our card. What I am going to do though is I think the little antenna should be black. So I'm just going to take my black Sharpie. Since this is not on the black layer die, I'm going to go ahead and take my Sharpie and color those black because I think they should be black. Now, if you don't have shimmer watercolors, a shimmer watercolor palette, you can get a similar effect just by using a regular watercolor palette and then getting a sparkle pen, like a Wink of Stella or Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, the clear overlay sparkle, and just color over it with that clear sparkle overlay. So I've got my card base, and I've got a black card base because I wanted that black outline layer. Okay, so there's my ink smooshed card blank, and my butterfly is going to go on right above that trail. And again, I'm going to just put adhesive just right down the body and on the two antennas. Really like that. Now I think it needs some bling. What do you think? I can never decide. I always think I want bling on it, and then I can never decide where to put it. But I think we'll go with that. Yeah, it definitely needed some bling. So anyway, there's my card. It does lay flat, but it just pops up because you left those wings free. And I don't know if you can see it, but the wings underneath are just glittery and shimmery and really lovely. So love how that came out. So nice ink smooshing technique in the background, and then just you know, shimmer watercolors, and then some die cuts to make your butterfly, and you're done. Easy. Thanks for watching.